Malacca Strait. Why this 1.7-kilometer gap controls World War III. South China Sea. Chinese warships and U.S. aircraft carriers cruising toward each other at just 12 nautical miles apart. This level of tension, it happens every single week. Have you ever wondered why global superpowers are scrambling over Southeast Asia? Why they're willing to spend hundreds of billions of dollars fighting for influence in a region some still consider developing? Welcome to the true ASEAN. Today, we're diving deep into why ASEAN has become the centerpiece of the world's chess game. And if this chess piece falls, the entire world changes forever. There's a strait just 1.7 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, yet it has the power to collapse the global economy overnight. That's the Strait of Malacca. Picture this: over 100,000 cargo ships pass through here annually. Can you imagine that? If someone could turn off the tap here, it's like hitting the power switch on half the world's economy. But this isn't just about cargo ships. ASEAN is the region China must control if it wants to become a true maritime superpower. And it's America's last line of defense before Chinese influence spreads across the globe. This is what the major players understand, but the general public might overlook. ASEAN isn't just an emerging market. It's simultaneously the weakness and strength of superpowers. Let me give you some staggering numbers. 680 million. ASEAN's population exceeds Europe and North America combined. 25% of the world's oil flows through the Malacca Strait in South China Sea. $3.6 trillion. Combined GDP, making it the world's fifth largest economy. But here's the terrifying part. If the South China Sea closes for just 1 week, global oil prices would surge by 300%. China is playing this game brilliantly. They're not coming with gunboats like the colonial era. They're coming with investment money so sweet it's irresistible. But here's the genius trap. Once these countries borrow Chinese money to build infrastructure and can't pay it back, China comes to help by leasing that territory for 99 years. Clear examples? Laos owes China 77% of its GDP. Cambodia has almost all major ports co-owned by China. Malaysia's East Coast Rail Link project is worth $20 billion. The US is playing the same old card, but in a new package. They don't say outright, "Come fight China." They say, "Come protect freedom of navigation." But behind the scenes, it's quietly building a network of military bases across the region without looking like an invasion. Examples: AUKUS, Defense Technology Agreement with Australia and Britain. The Quad, alliance with Japan, India, Australia. Rotating forces in the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. Thailand sits in the most delicate position because we're America's longtime ally, but also China's biggest trading partner in ASEAN. This is the art of tightrope walking. You need to be skilled enough to benefit from both sides without being dragged down by either. If war actually breaks out, ASEAN won't just be a spectator. We'll automatically become the heart of the battlefield. The clash will definitely happen in the South China Sea because it's where both China and the US claim rights and neither will back down. The Strait of Malacca is the most critical point. Whoever controls this controls the breadth of the global economy. China will try to keep this route open at all costs. America will try to close it at all costs. The economic impact on ordinary people? Oil prices surge by 500 to 800%. Exports halt by 90%. Tourism industry collapses instantly. Inflation rises 3 to 5 times higher. We might see over 50 million internal refugees within the region, fleeing areas near conflict zones. Imagine this scenario. Air raid sirens sound in Bangkok at 10 p.m. Breaking news announces Chinese and U.S. warships clash in the South China Sea. Gas prices at stations jump from 30 to 150 baht per liter overnight. Commercial flights refuse to enter risk zones. Goods from Japan and Korea disappear from markets, and this is just the first week. ASEAN was born in 1967 after the Vietnam War from the desire to never be anyone's battlefield again. But today, we're back at the same risk point. Here's what needs to happen. For ASEAN, build collective strength, develop joint defense capabilities, practice balanced diplomacy. Don't lean too far toward anyone, but benefit from all sides. Enhance economic cooperation, reduce dependence on single trade routes. For the world, both superpowers must understand that 21st century warfare has no real winners, only losers at different levels. What we Thai should do is prepare intelligently, not panic or ignore, but understand the situation and prepare contingency plans. Because in the chess game of superpowers, small countries that are smart can survive and thrive, but small countries that are foolish become sacrificial pieces. ASEAN remains a hope that the world doesn't have to split into two poles, but can have a third path. But this can only happen when we understand the game being played and refuse to be just pieces on anyone's board. Because ultimately, ASEAN belongs to us, and our future depends on how smart we are in protecting it.